So this is a story that I'm going to be sharing with you. It's about poetry and social justice, but it's also a story about water. Many of our speakers so far have mentioned how the river is in us, and I am one such river. I have not really had an anchor in my life. I've been flowing from one place to another, and I've just forged connections with the people that I've been around. So this is me in Lebanon at the age of 2. At 4, I was in Bulgaria. At 7, I was in San Francisco. At 10, I was in Belarus. At 14, I was in Delhi. The shoe never quite fit, but I kept trying to find a home in whatever ecosystem that I was a part of. In 1999, we immigrated to Austin, Texas, and I went to college there. And this was a catalyst moment in my life because I joined the Bhopal Gas Campaign, and I joined a chapter of Students for Bhopal in America. In Bhopal, there to this day is a great need for clean drinking water. The lack of it, the carcinogens in the water are affecting just people that are being born, children are being born with congenital defects. There's mercury which is entering the breast milk. So water really is an ecosystem, and a faulty ecosystem affects the society around it. Bhopal led me to shift to India after spending a decade in Austin. This is me living in a village in Rajasthan because I thought what better way to understand the country than by staying in its villages. And I had 2 sets of clothes, 2 lehengas as you can see here, and I carried water from place to place. That led me to study Dalit and tribal social work at the Tata Institute of Social Sciences. I then proceeded to work with Ishwar India, and all of these experiences taught me that social justice thus far is an external journey. It's a journey to understand the society we live in and the people we are with. At that point, however, I felt like I needed to turn the gaze within and think about what social justice meant in my inner world. The woman in the sari here was my landlord in Uttarakhand for 3 years, where I lived in a village. She fought with the sarpanch to get the water to stay in the village instead of going to the resorts in Mukteshwar and Almora. And it was during this time that I published my first book, which was about my grandmother's journey from Pakistan to India during the partition. In many ways, she was also a river because while she did not have roots, she built ecosystems wherever she went, and that was very inspiring to me. Moving to Goa led to the formation of a community such as the Poetry Circle that you see here. We meet every other Wednesday at a cafe in Para. If you're interested, please reach out to me. But it's a space, again, to have conversations about poetry and what vulnerability means to us. That also has led me to playing the ukulele and learning Kabir folk songs because I feel like that storytelling tradition really is also rooted in this idea of understanding our outer and our inner world. The last thing I want to talk about before I share a poem with you all is the book that was briefly mentioned that I wrote last year called Swimming in Our Oceans, which again just led me to understand that ecosystems are what we make of it. The river Madey is one such ecosystem, and I want to now share a poem with you that I wrote for the river as part of the movement. In the map of my mind, there are no countries, only rivers and estuaries, islands of ideas. And in the rivers of these minds, there are carriers of current. Just yesterday, I found Kabir at the shore, building a world where fishes climb tamarind trees. कुएरे किनारे अब तू इमली सी बोई रे हो जारो पेड़ मछलियाँ छायो हेलो. And then I saw these birds kabutar through the sky, and they dove into fields, found meals beneath mud, and these birds rose together into something vast and untouchable. Life feels like that. A fishnet stocking of wings, a swing that keeps going higher and higher. Every room is a roost, every conversation is a prayer, Madey is a goddess. She reclines on her side, the ebb and flow of chest, then waist, then hip, then thigh, a blue-green goddess, never dry. Tell me, Madey, Do you choose what you carry, what you spit and what you swallow? Why do children love you? Have they always loved you? Who decides your destiny? Is that something you think about? Does hope float? Does destruction have to hurt? This river, this goddess, she is shrinking now, and I struggle to find the bright side. I'm comforted by the fact that all of us, even the rich ones, will eventually become plant food. I like that there are too many books to read and not enough time to read them. There are too many songs to sing and not enough time to sing them. This is the bright side. And yet, on some days, I will forget the bright side. I will yell at techno lovers and Delhi drivers. I will say, ignore my hypocrisy. Say we were born imperfect. Say we are the stories we tell, and say this is all I have. And then a pigeon will shit on my head and remind me what really matters is water. In the beginning, we are a river, and so it shall end. In the beginning, there was a river, and so it shall end. Thank you.